What's hiding underneath things can be scary. Underwater, under your bed, especially what's under your carpet. Except when you get new carpet from Carpet One Floor and Home. After tearing up your old carpet, they'll vacuum and apply Health Annex antimicrobial to your subfloor, disinfecting and killing mold, mildew, and any remaining general awfulness. Carpet One Floor and Home goes the extra mile to protect you, your family, and your home. Carpet One Floor and Home in Columbia, making your home beautiful, guaranteed.
Good morning and welcome to Radio Friends on Tuesday, November the 10th. We're not too far from Thanksgiving. So today, one of our topics is building kitchen confidence, okay? And I want to introduce you to JAMIE Daugherty, who is with the Missouri Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics, and she's coming to us via Zoom from St. Louis. Good morning, JAMIE.
How are you doing?
I'm doing fine. So how do you build confidence in the kitchen if you have no confidence in your cooking ability?
Well, you first have to get in the kitchen and make some mistakes. So that's kind of where it starts. And I think this topic's important because, you know, we all are staying at home a little bit more and we're having that opportunity or that time to be in the kitchen.
Right. So what is the biggest mistake that people make if they've never cooked before and they want to start and they have no confidence?
Well, you have to get in the kitchen. You have to have a template to start with. So having a recipe that you can play around with, and even just taking some things out of the pantry and seeing what's going to work or not work. I think sometimes people think, oh, I have to have all of these skills and know exactly how to sear or saute or steam. And sometimes we just have to get in there and do that.
Yeah,
There's
and it's okay to make a mistake too once in a while.
Totally, because then we kind of learn, how to expand our skills. And there's so many great videos and tutorials out there too that are free that can kind of get people a little bit excited to get back in the kitchen.
Yeah, and it's important also when you're cooking to cook for good nutrition, correct?
Definitely. You have to be, as a dietitian and chef, that's, my background. You have to have a good variety of food groups. So have a little bit of confidence and understanding around grains and proteins and fruits and vegetables and how you can incorporate those along with some healthy fats into your kitchen repertoire.
When you talk about healthy fats, what are you referring to here?
Well, there's so many good plant-based oils and avocados and nuts and seeds that are healthier fats than, you say, some of our solid fats, where we kind of have to use those maybe a little bit more sparingly, like our butters and our lards and our Criscos and things like that.
Yeah. Do people still cook with lard?
Back in the day, probably not as much anymore. If you want to make a good pie crust, yeah, you probably would use lard, or you probably get a grandparent's recipe that's passed down.
I remember back in the old days. Well, you'd have a big chunk of lard, and you'd make that pie crust with the lard. I do remember that. My mom did it. But if people want more information about good nutrition and cooking, where should they go? Where can they go to find this?
Well, we have a lot of great resources on eatright.org, which is our national kind of Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics website that has some great consumer resources that would be a good starting place.
And then have confidence in the kitchen. And if you make a couple of mistakes, some of the best recipes have come about because of mistakes with cooks, too.
Exactly. Totally. And Cooks Illustrated is another resource that I provide for my students, too, because they have some great videos that people can see just how to do some simple culinary techniques.
Yeah. I think of toasted ravioli, and I think that was an accident. You're from the St. Louis area, right?
Yep, I am.
Okay. I think toasted ravioli was an accident. I don't know if this is true, but I read that it fell. They were cooking and it fell in some breadcrumbs and then accidentally dropped in a frying pan. And they go, okay, now we got a mess here, but we'll try it. And toasted ravioli was born.
Yeah, and there you go. And now it's a real popular food item, which people outside St. Louis always aren't familiar with that. So,
right. Okay. So eatright.org. JAMIE, thank you so much for visiting with us today.
You're welcome. Have a good one.
All right. Stay safe and healthy.
You too.
All right. Our next guest, there you can see him, is Scott Miniea. And Scott is coming to us via Zoom, also with the claims program of Missouri. Good morning, Scott.
Good morning, Paul.
You want to talk about the open enrollment period right now and what people need to do as far as saving money on their insurance, right?
Yes, absolutely. Right now, we're in the middle of the annual open enrollment period for Medicare, which means you can make a number of choices. And actually, the thing I'm here to talk about today is that there are ways that the claim program, as your state health insurance assistance program, can help you pay less for Medicare. That's done by our volunteer counselors. They use a screening tool and will look for extra help available based on your income and your assets. And if your limited income is such at a certain level, then you might qualify for lower costs for your Medicare Part D prescription drug plan premiums, your deductibles, your co-pays, your co-insurance. It can also help you with Part B premiums, Part A and B premiums, deductibles, and co-insurance, and cost sharing for Medicare Advantage plans.
Wow!
It's all based on
You're saying that you could possibly get a reduced rate on your Medicare?
Yes, basically there are a number of programs, two in particular, that exist to make Medicare more affordable to people. And what we try to do is let people know that they might benefit from these. And we ask them just two simple questions. It takes about a minute to do the screening. And then if it turns out their income level is at the right point, then we will help them enroll in those benefits and thus reduce their costs.
Now, you're not talking about the supplement to Medicare. You're talking about the actual Medicare premiums that you pay.
Premiums, yeah, co-insurance, deductibles. It depends on which piece, and there's a lot of details involved in that. But basically, all they need to do is come to one of our call in. It's COVID time, right? Call in for an appointment with one of our counselors, and then they can walk them through, determine their eligibility, and that minute can have a financial benefit that could be for anything from $1,735 to $4,900, depending on their income level, of course, and their assets. So
right, and there is no cost. There's no cost for any of this.
Correct. We are free and unbiased. We're funded by grants from the federal government, and so we're required to be. And essentially, we can help you save money. So as I usually say, why wouldn't you, right?
Exactly. So what do people do? What is the website, and what is the phone number to call?
The program's name is CLAIM, so it's MissouriClaim.org.
Okay.
And the phone number is 800-390-3330.
Okay. But you can go to www.missouriclaim.org, and at that website, it will give you all the information that you need. But you must call in and talk to a person, correct?
You can, if you're doing this after hours, you can send a message via our webpage, and that will go to our call center, and they will treat it just like a call.
All right.
And then they will set you up with an appointment time.
Thank you very much, Scott. I appreciate it.
Paul.
800-390-3330 is the number to call. Okay, it could save you money, and it's free of charge. We're out of time for today. Something you'd like to hear or see? Pepper P, Missouri.edu. That's a number. Wear your mask as you go out. Bye-bye.